Good evening. It's Wednesday, May 16th. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, the General Assembly passes legislation to increase income taxes on the state's top earners. The House of Delegates voted 77 to 60 this afternoon on the measure, which died on the last day of the regular session. The bill completes a spending package that will undo a so-called doomsday budget that would have caused massive cuts to education and health care. The House also approved a companion measure that shifts teacher pension costs to the counties, a move that Republicans say will cause jurisdictions to increase local taxes.
To say no to some things in this budget. No is an answer. And one of those that was pointed out was one of the previous speakers just said, well, a big part of the budget's growing where we're buying lottery terminals. Do you think the people of Maryland want us out there buying lottery terminals for the billionaires who are out there putting in these lottery facilities? No. And that's why no is an answer.
I'll tell you, the reason I raised my voice down here is because most of the folks down on the shore thought everybody up here couldn't hear. They figured they've been sending people up here for years and you couldn't hear nothing. And it's plain when I look at that board that you still can't hear what the people are saying. So I urge a red vote.
That measure passed 86 to 51. The legislation was then approved by the Senate and now awaits the governor's signature. Leaders estimate that the special session cost about $20,000 a day. Lawmakers are paid a set salary and receive no bonus for the three-day session. Well, meantime, the budget and tax gridlock is over in Annapolis, which is good news for local governments and school districts. The new budget deal averts doomsday budget cuts and allocates more funds in education, which is a top priority for Prince George's officials.
We're very happy and thankful that the General Assembly has passed the budget as they did today. It means that a potential $38 million cut was averted and that we can move forward with the budget we've proposed through the Board of Education and the County Council, and that is funding the needs of children in Prince George's County and helping employees out by budgeting aside some money for compensation improvements. It's $19 million for fiscal year 13, but what the legislation does is it requires the county governments to fund school systems that same amount in order to pay for the pension costs over the next 4 years.
And Stansky is the Chief Financial Officer for the Prince George's County School System.
It was a scary start to a class trip for some middle school students from Dallastown, Pennsylvania today. The students and their chaperones were headed to D.C. for some sightseeing when a box truck rear-ended one of the charter buses. The accident happened around 10 this morning on the inner loop of the Beltway between the Baltimore-Washington Parkway and Kenilworth Avenue exits. Two other buses were involved in a separate crash near Kenilworth Avenue. 13 students suffered minor injuries and were transported to local hospitals. State police have cited the two motorists who crashed into the buses for following too closely. One child is killed and another is in serious condition after both are struck by vehicles in two separate incidents. Around 7:30 this morning, a 6-year-old boy was hit by a vehicle in Odenton. The child was rushed to a nearby hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Officials say the driver remained on the scene. Meanwhile, Charles County officials are investigating the death of a 3-year-old boy Tuesday afternoon in Waldorf. Authorities say the toddler was in the car with his mother when she stopped to hand a letter to a mail carrier in their neighborhood. Unbeknownst to the woman, the little boy got out of the car and stepped into the path of an SUV. That driver also remained at the scene. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Patricia Vallone.